Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Cover to Cover. You're here with Mo,
Andrea,
and Morgan.
Today we want to talk about Jessica Williams' new TV show, Traveling and Writing, Lawsuits and Authors, author Annie Proulx's Lifetime Achievement Award, Hillary Clinton's book sales, the illustrious author of My Immortals, plus Tiffany has a fun video short for us, so stay tuned. But first, you guys, it is Banned Books Week, and the world is celebrating all week long.
Banned Books Week is typically celebrated the last week of September, and it brings together the entire book community, readers, librarians, booksellers, publishers, journalists, and more, to celebrate the freedom to read. By focusing efforts across the country, the American Library Association hopes to draw attention to the detriment caused by censorship. You can find a full list of books that have been banned or challenged on the American Library Association website. And you can do your part by participating in the conversation.
So you guys, we've talked about banned books before, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Yes.
just like a horrible, terrible thing that happens around the world. And we're here to say it's not okay. And we're celebrating all of those books, right?
That's right. No more censorship, y'all.
Yeah. And even like really great books have been banned for really dumb reasons, right? Like The Great Gatsby and
And To Kill a Mockingbird.
yeah, and 50 Shades of Grey or whatever. I don't know. So lots of books have been banned. So check that list out if you want to get your hands on one that you can read and kind of share that and spread that.
Yeah, I understand schools not putting it on their required reading list or even putting it in their library, but to ban it, you're just causing trouble, I think.
And you're making us want to read those books like a lot
That's
more.
exactly what you're doing.
Yep.
So,
That's what's happening. So you be sure to keep fighting for your voice. And you guys know one such activist for that is actress, writer, director, and general personality type Jessica Williams, who is living my dream in an upcoming TV show that she has created.
Williams will be writing and starring in a new comedy series on Showtime that chronicles a young author coming of age in Brooklyn writing science fiction.
So this is just an interesting story that's also going to be funny about an author and the kind of the struggle with that. And you had mentioned Sex and the City has kind of already done a similar thing.
yes.
Which you're like, been there, done that.
Yeah, I've already been there.
But it's science fiction, so it's exciting.
Pretty cool. And she's, besties with J.K. Rowling?
Yeah, best friends in
Okay.
real life with J.K. Rowling.
Oh.
So she is really living your dream
So
life.
everything about her life, I just want to like implant myself inside of it. But I read that this is probably loosely based on the life of N.K. Jemisin, who's a really big up-and-coming sci-fi author. She just won another Hugo Award, and she's a young black woman who has had kind of a struggle jumping into the science fiction game because that's not typically a young black woman's realm of writing.
Interesting.
So hopefully Jessica Williams is going to piggyback off of that story and kind of show us what that life looks like.
Interesting. This weekend at the park, I met a woman who quit her job. She was in oil and gas to write children's books.
Aww.
And we talked a little bit about her journey and her process, and she was actually sitting there in the dog park on her computer typing away.
That's
So,
awesome.
Yeah, she was living her dream.
That's amazing. Guess we'll all have to take a note out of their book.
Yep.
Well, speaking of coming of age in the world, one couple decided to leave everything behind and discover the world for themselves and write an inspiring new book.
Kyle James and Ashley Grigsby of North Carolina quit their jobs back in 2015 to travel the world and to follow their dreams. James has a background in writing and knew this was a great opportunity to turn this trip into a book, so he collected stories and memories along the way and compiled them for a work titled Not Afraid of the Fall. After 114 days of traveling, 15 different countries, and one marriage proposal, the book is out now.
So I think this is kind of the new eat, pray, love of our generation. People are like, that's the life I want.
Yeah.
How do I achieve it? I need to save money and quit my job.
And lots of people have done this as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely trending.
Definitely. I always see those things on Facebook, and it's like, quit your job now, and like go do these things.
Work from the
and then there's
beach.
like that like little bit of temptation in you, and then you're like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not realistic.
Yeah.
I wonder how they really did it.
I know. I guess we'll have to read the book and find out.
I do know someone who decided to be homeless, and I think he's going to write about it. I've encouraged him to write a book about it, what it's like to be homeless. It's just by choice he decided to be homeless, and I think he's doing it for a year.
Uh-oh.
And so he posts very interesting things on Facebook.
Homeless, but he has Wi-Fi?
Yeah, he's got like the iPhone 7 Plus or
Yes,
something.
yes, he does have a phone. He takes beautiful pictures when he travels.
Uh-huh.
He does have a job, but he talks about his life being homeless, going to the gym to take a shower before going to a meeting that's associated with a major hospital in town. Like, he has a really good job, but it's just the life he chose. He wants to understand the life of homeless people. So
he should write a book about that.
I hope he does, because I think we see it from the outside and we don't quite get it. But
yeah, there's a really cool poverty simulation in Waco, Texas. And so you actually go for the weekend and you were put out on the streets. And I mean, it's all simulated, so it's a drop in the bucket of what someone's experience is really like. But I did it and I thought it was so cool. It really opened my eyes to just to so much. And it also broke down barriers between homeless people and people on the other side, because I feel like on both ends it's really hard to connect.
Yeah. Well, I got us really off topic this morning.
That's good, though. I like that. Y'all, one really cute thing I did read about this book is, so they did get engaged, but he didn't propose to her on the trip. He put it in, he dedicated the book to her, and they, like, hiked up a mountain, and he gave her the first printed copy, and he asked her to, like, open it and read it, and he proposed, like, in the dedication. So that's, like, really sweet.
Well, I would think if you're traveling together for 114 days, I would hope that this was coming. Maybe she knew. Well, I don't know. They say you got to travel together to really figure out if you can make it work.
I'm sure they had a lot of ups and downs. We'll have to check it out.
Well, let us know in the comments if you're interested in this travel blog love book that is available now. And if you've read it, we want to know. But for now, we're going to take a quick break. But when we get back, we got more news, plus a fun video short for you. So stay tuned.
There are so many books being written in the world, so it's of course inevitable that some of them end up being similar. But how similar is too similar? The courts will be weighing in on one such issue right now.
Author Chad Harbeck released The Art of Fielding in 2011. The book is a novel about baseball and has been well received since its publication. Author Charles C. Green wrote an unpublished book titled Bucky's Ninth, featuring essentially the same story. Green is currently suing Harbeck for alleging that the work contained substantial similarities. This issue is abuzz with whether or not the case will make it very far. Published authors are rarely taken down by unpublished authors, but in this case, the experts think that the case won't be going away quickly.
So we kind of talked about that this morning, and we're not really sure how the author who was published would have got a hold of the unpublished script, but the unpublished author definitely has evidence that he wrote his book before the published book. So I'm interested to see how it plays out, but I bet that it will be tied up in the court system for quite some time. I'm not really sure how that works.
Yeah.
I think it can take years, because I know at least with like libel and journalism, like that is an ongoing battle, and it kind of destroys you. So
it sounds really unfortunate for all sides involved. So we'll definitely have to stay tuned and see what the outcome of that is.
I wonder if both books are actually based on another story that no one is even thinking about. Yeah, I bet. I mean, because so many stories just repeat themselves.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Everyone borrows from everyone else. There's really nothing original under the sun. So this is just, I don't know, but the unpublished author, well, he's unpublished for a reason, was what I read. So he needs to make a little money, I guess, is what he's thinking.
Maybe.
Sorry, I'm being kind of hard on you, but we'll see. It'll be interesting to follow and see what happens.
Yeah, I will. Well, those authors will definitely be tied up in the legal system for quite some time as that gets sorted out. But there are other authors out there that are going to be tied up with some more lucrative situations in their life.
Author Annie Proulx has written many well-known books, from Brokeback Mountain to Pulitzer Prize-winning book The Shipping News. And now she has one more honor to add to her list. She will be receiving a National Book Award Medal for a lifetime achievement. The author is blown away by the honor, which she will be receiving on November 15th at a special gathering. Anne Hathaway, who starred in film version of Brokeback Mountain, will be presenting her with the award.
So that's exciting for her. I'm not personally like a huge fan of her work. Like I just haven't read a lot of it, but it's always so nice to see authors get honored for all the hard work that they've put in.
I've been wanting to read her stuff because I always see her name.
Yeah, and Tiffany's a big fan, and
Yeah.
she covered Barkskins was a nightstand kind of recently. So.
Yeah, I haven't read any of her stuff either, so we'll add that to our TBR list for sure.
Ever-growing list.
Yes.
So check that out and wish her luck with that. You guys know another author who has been well received lately is former presidential candidate Hillary Clinton.
Hillary Clinton's new book, What Happened, has been the talk of the town since its release on September 12th. The numbers are in, and she has already sold over 300,000 copies. The book's hardcover sales are of 168,000, were the highest opening of any nonfiction release in 5 years. According to NPD Bookscan, which tracks around 85% of retail print sales. On October 1st, the book will appear at #1 on the New York Times bestseller list. So, I mean, what's the fascination with political books in general, and why is this one in particular so hot?
Yeah, I think people are really excited to see kind of an inside view of what happened with the election, which I think is essentially what this book is about. I'm personally not a big fan of political books. Like, I would totally read the Cliff Notes, but I'm probably not going to purchase this. But it sounds like she's doing okay without my book purchase.
Yeah, what I want to know from all of you listening and watching, are you interested in this book? Because we make the assumption that maybe not, but we want to know because sales are so high.
So high.
So are you reading this book? Have you ordered it? Are you going to? We want to know what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, #1 on New York Times.
That's pretty big.
Pretty
Awesome.
big. She has also had a lot of coverage, which I think has helped.
Yeah.
I heard about this on NPR. I listened to different morning shows in the morning, so that's probably helped as well.
Yeah, her marketing campaign's going well.
Yeah,
That's
and
true.
plus everything that's going on in the political system, but, you know, we love our fiction books here.
Yeah.
Well, again, let us know. Are you a fan or are you not a fan of political nonfictions? Have you read this book? Are you going to? Let us know. But right now, we are going to check out book recs for everyone based on your zodiac sign. So Tiffany's got you covered no matter wherein you were born. So let's check it out.
Hey, I'm Tiffany, and today I've got book recommendations for every sign in the zodiac. Okay, Aries, I know you are sharp-tongued and sassy just like Lizzie from Pride and Prejudice, so I am recommending Pride and Prejudice for all you Aries out there. Okay, Taurus, like you, Tina Fey is a super bossy pants, so I'm recommending her memoir, Bossy Pants, for all you Taurus out there. Bossy Pants goes through Tina's childhood, her nerdy youth, her time at SNL, and even her time as a mother, so I think you'll love it. Okay, for the Geminis out there, I'm going to pick Twin Maker, and this is a book where identity and technology intersect in a deadly trap. I hope you'll love it. All right, for all the Cancers out there, I've got a love affair that takes place on the Italian coast and is rekindled 50 years later in sunny Hollywood. It's called Beautiful Ruins, and it's by Jess Walters. Okay, Leos, I'm recommending a book for you that I absolutely love. It's called The Tiger's Wife, and this is a book about a granddaughter on search for the meaning behind her grandfather's mysterious death and the legend of the tiger's wife. Okay, for the Virgos out there, one of my personal favorite books of all time is Garden Spells, and this takes place in North Carolina. It's a group of women, the Waverly Women, and they live in a beautiful Queen Anne house. They have a garden that bears food with magical properties, which they bake into a successful catering business. So I love this book. I hope you enjoy Garden Spells. Okay, Libras, I may have found the perfect book for you. It's called Clear Your Clutter. Now, it's not a fiction book, but we know you like beauty, we know you like balance, and Clear Your Clutter is the book for you. Okay, Scorpio, I've got something forbidden for you. It's got history, it's got sensuality, and a little bit of mystery. The book, Forbidden. Okay, Sagittarius, I'm doing it. I'm giving you Eat, Pray, Love. It is a book about travel, it's a book about romance, it's a book about food, and if you don't have it on your list yet, you gotta read Eat, Pray, Love by our girl, Elizabeth Gilbert. Capricorn, you want a book about success, so I am giving you Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. It's a classic, you'll love it. Think and Grow Rich. Okay, Aquarius, I'm giving you a book called The Revenge of the Radioactive Lady, and I love this book. It's a great account of a woman who received a radioactive cocktail 50 years prior. Some bad things happened. It was a doctor in a study, and she moves to Florida to kill the doctor that gave her that radioactive cocktail. But does she? Okay, sweet Pisces, how about The Lovely Bones? This story is told from the perspective of a dead teenager in her own personal heaven, watching her friends and family cope with her murder. It's a thinker, it's a feeler, and you're gonna love it. So get out your magic 8-ball and enjoy reading.
All right, thank you so much, Tiffany. You guys, let us know if you've read your Zodiac recommendation and what do you think about it. Meanwhile, let's check out an up-and-coming author who has been mysterious for the last 10 years.
Deep fans of the Harry Potter series may be familiar with a famous fanfic from a decade ago known as My Immortals. This fanfic was written by a mysterious author named Tara, who remained anonymous as her writings spawned web series, mystery, and became a cultural touchstone. 10 years later, the author has resurfaced and is now owning up to her creating. She has been identified as Rose Christo, and Christo has written a forthcoming memoir called Under the Same Stars, which dives into how she wrote My Immortals while in foster care after escaping child abuse.
Fans of the work are clamoring to learn more about her, and it seems she may be in a career for writing. So something she never imagined just 10 years ago.
Yeah, this is really exciting for her because everybody writes fanfic because they like to write and they want to be a writer, but it's just like an easy outlet to do it. And she's one of those people that hers got really popular and people were really excited about it.
And she was a teenager, right?
Yeah, she was so young. And so it's great for her to be able to come out 10 years later and say, hey, I wrote that thing, and also here's this new book. And also I had a really sad life, so hopefully you've overcome all of that stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy. She flew under the radar for so long.
I know. And you guys know E.L. James, writer of 50 Shades of Grey, was famously a fanfic writer. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's not unheard of for these fanfic authors to kind of bloom into their own career. So I hope that she ends up doing really well.
I hope so too.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Well, let us know in the comments if you are familiar with My Immortals and what you think about it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Mo.
I'm Andrea.
And I'm Morgan.
And we will, of course, be back on Wednesday, September 27th at 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Central Time. So until then, keep reading, writing, and being awesome. I know we will. Bye.
Bye.